Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're here on episode 43 of the weekly Priestess Rise Up transmission. Last week I was away, so we didn't get to connect, but I'm so delighted to be back here with you. Thank you so much. If this is your first time connecting with me, I'm delighted that you were led here. And for those of you who have been here before, it's always such a joy to connect with you as well. My name is Lisa Espinosa, and I am a modern day priestess and spiritual career coach. And everything that I do revolves around helping you, helping myself, right? Helping the world to connect with your soul, and take action from that place so that you can share your unique soul's medicine, so that you can fulfill your divine mission, so that you can take on the mantle of leadership, right? So that you can radiate your light, be a beacon of light, all of the things that we say that sometimes in spiritual communities can kind of become almost cliche or over overused, but I really want to bring the truth of that. It's not just a nice thing to say that you are here to light up the world, and the only way we can do that is by going within, starting from within. Hi Roxana, it's so good to see you. Thank you. And anybody else who's here, I'd love to know, and you can share in the chat, and if you're watching the recording you can share there as well. And so yeah, that's why we're gathered here today. And so I want to talk about today. Last time, before I went on my Colorado trip, we went to visit one of my daughters there. I did the free 3-day soul immersion, and some of you were part of that. And it was really foundational. Hey, Jill, really talking about the basics, right? And I shared what is mastery? What is becoming a master? Mastery is when we master the basics. We think, oh, mastery is all these advanced teachings and, all this stuff like my psychic skills being so open and all of those things. And that happens as a result of mastering the basics. And it's something that we need to repeat over, like we need to hear over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We need to, because as we keep moving in our spiritual practice, as we keep moving on our path, we heal more layers, we release more burdens of unworthiness, right? We release more self-doubt, more trauma, and so we're able to take it in a different way. So what I want, hi Jill, hi Suzanne, I think that's who that is, Suzanne. Yeah. So what I want to talk about today is the 3 basic steps, right? Because it all begins with you listening to your soul's guidance. So these 3 basic steps, you have heard me talk, if you have followed me before, you've heard me talk about this in many, many different ways. But even if you have, we need to hear it over and over. I wrote a book that includes this. I talk about this all the time. I teach this to my clients, and I need to hear it over and over again. And if you're watching this, if you're drawn to my work, you're on an accelerated path. You have probably gone through so many different experiences, so many different initiations in preparation to lead more people. So we often, when we're on an accelerated journey, we experience the things first before the masses do. So dark nights of the soul, I'm sure you've experienced those. I've experienced many of those. All of the things. And we do that because of our great prayer to serve the world, to serve humanity. We experience it ahead of time. And I know for a long time, I felt like, what's wrong with me? Why is my life so challenging? Why do I had so much burdens of unworthiness, or I don't know, maybe not being special or being punished or whatever it was. It took me a while to understand, oh, this is because I'm preparing for leadership. And so if you are here, you have been on that same path. And every time we up level, every time we go to that next level, and I'm totally in that space right now, along with you, I'm in a huge transition. Like I feel like my world is being turned upside down. Like Kali Ma, that goddess Kalima. She's got me by the ankles and she's like just holding me upside down, having everything that doesn't serve me fall off, everything that is outdated, that has run its course, anything that, any form of attachment. Oh my gosh, I'm totally in that space. And so when we're in that space, we actually have to go back to the basics even more. So, what are the three basic things in order for you to share your soul's medicine in the most powerful, highest way? Very, very simple. One, you have to pause throughout the day. That's one. Pause throughout the day. Now, this is what's really interesting. Your pause can be, in fact, it should be very short. If you've been doing this for a while, your pause, I was really reflecting on this today and I was like, what do my pauses look like now? And a lot of them look like I'm going down the stairs, from upstairs to downstairs to my kitchen. And like I'm tuning in to do step 2, which I'm about to say. So it's that integrated and that quick of a pause. Now, that isn't to say that there aren't times where I need to like really like pause more significantly, but because I've practiced this so much, I'm realizing like, oh, the pauses are, I love how Course in Miracles talks about it. Course in Miracles is a spiritual text that I've studied for years and years and years. And it talks about the holy instant. And I feel like that's what this is, these holy instants. And I'm noticing like, oh, sometimes they're happening, like I'm bringing awareness to how they're becoming more integrated into like everyday movement, particularly right now when I'm so busy with so much change happening in my life. And so step 1, pause, right? Pause throughout the day. In my book, I call them the interrupter rituals. In that soul immersion class, I went all over those, right? But if you're new to this, really literally, that's what it means, that you pause for a minute, for 30 seconds. And what's step 2? Step 2 of that process is you receive from your soul. Receive. That's very important. It's different than you pause and you ask your soul for guidance and you wait to get an answer. That's like one little branch of it. It's really important that we understand that we're literally receiving. Why are we receiving? Why is this important? Because first of all, your soul is always giving to you. Always, 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 always. There isn't a moment when your soul is not giving to you. But because we live in the earth plane, because we have an egoic structure, because we have wounds, because this world is designed is programmed, that's a better word, to make us believe that the external world is more important than our internal world. That what we see with our physical eyes is more real and more important. That's the programming of this world. You can think of it, Jesus, Ascended Master Jesus, I've been talking to him a lot recently. And I want to say, if you are new to my work, when I talk about these Ascended Masters, I'm really moving beyond any sort of religious dogma or doctrine. These are Ascended Masters that lived a human life, that are here to support us, that aren't interested, I really believe this, in us following a certain religion. Not opposed to it. If you are drawn to a religion, that's fine. But this isn't about any specific religion. So when I talk about Ascended Master Jesus, I'm talking about his high-level teachings, not connected to any doctrine. So anyway, so I've been connecting to Ascended Master Jesus. He's really been kind of bringing to me the idea of video games, which is interesting because I don't play video games at all. But he's like, if you think about the earth as this video game, and the programming of the earth is that, oh, everything outside of us is more important. If I'm upset, is because something's happening outside of me. But the truth is, everything outside of you is happening as a reflection of what's happening inside. That takes years for us to understand. Like so many. So that simple step of receiving from your soul is radical and revolutionary because it requires you to acknowledge, to have faith in, to trust that that is more important than anything else you can do. And it literally can take 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute. And yet, our brain, because it's programmed this way, can convince us, oh no, there's way more important things to do than that. Even more important spiritual things. But the most important thing is really for us to receive. So, step one, you pause. Now, your pause may be so integrated that it happens in an instant. You receive. You receive. And this is like, think about the difference between receiving and getting. So like if there's a situation in your life where you're like, oh, I really want to know what my soul wants me to do. Like I need to get an answer from my soul. I need to get clarity from my soul. I need to get the blueprint from my soul. I need to get the plan from my soul. That's like a getting energy. It's very different than saying, I need to receive from my soul. I need to plug in. I need to receive my soul's light. That's the most important thing. And so that's the second step, that we learn that receiving is the most essential, most important, most powerful thing for us to do. Understanding that the world is programmed to convince us that that isn't the truth. Or that maybe, okay, well, that's nice when you're on vacation, or that's nice when you're on retreat, or that's good when something really intense is happening. But every day, all day long, all the time, that's not. It's more important to get all these other things done. That's the programming, right? That's the programming. That's why we're on such a heroic journey. That's why this takes so much courage and discipline. It really does take discipline and commitment and devotion. If you're listening to this and you think, oh, that's so super easy, I have mastered that, I would really invite you to explore that. Because the only people who have truly mastered that aren't people anymore. They're ascended masters. They've moved on. They've moved on to the other realms to help us. I haven't mastered that by any means, but I'm practicing it. Right? And then the third step is to take action. But this is the place where people, it's like, not to overcomplicate that. It might be a little action step. In fact, I really would encourage you to, at first, give yourself permission to let the action steps be very simple. Maybe the action step is you take some mindful breaths. Maybe the action step is you go take a walk. Maybe the action step is you turn on some music as you eat. Or maybe the action step is you pause from the to-do list and you continue receiving from your soul. Like we want these action steps to be these huge, like it's interesting because on the one hand, we want it to be this huge, like, okay, go do this now. This is the action step so that you can get more clients, so that you can make more money, or so that you can resolve the situation. We're also scared of that, right? Like, oh, I kind of want to know what my soul wants me to do, but I'm scared. What if it says for me to do something really scary? It's like we put ourselves in this bind. But if we understand that, I really feel like 90% of the time, our soul's guidance is these little tiny steps that are going to make huge shifts. So, for example, for me today, this morning, I been listening. I'm working with a new coach and she has a podcast and I love listening to her podcast and I've just been devouring it. And today and often I'll listen to it while I'm eating breakfast or while I'm on the treadmill. And today when I tuned into my soul, I was really heard to not do that, to not turn on the podcast and to turn on some soothing music. And I really had a part that had resistance because I want to learn more. And my parts wanted to do, it feels productive to multitask in that way, right? Eat breakfast and be listening to these amazing teachings. But I could feel that. I could feel my soul was saying that. It was like, no, just, and so I did, right? I put on this music playlist And I just, even though a part of me was like, but you're falling behind, I was like, it's okay. I started eating breakfast. And then this song played in this playlist, which I wasn't expecting because it was a French music playlist. And this song in English came up by a artist. It's a song that I find very meaningful. And I just burst out crying. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was so important for me to have that moment because I realized, oh my gosh, I'm grieving along with everything else, along with all the changes, all the things that have to happen for the changes. I'm grieving the endings that are happening. But I'd been so busy with everything that I hadn't acknowledged that. And when I just allowed myself to cry and then eat, right, and continue to listen to some music, like, first of all, that opened up so much. And then I got some real important clarity on some things in my business and action steps to take. So that's what I'm saying, where, the little action step there was, don't listen to the podcast. Not that my soul loves the podcast. It's not that it was saying the podcast was bad. It was just like, right now, just listen to some music. Don't multitask with that in this moment. Such a simple step. And it led to so much clarity, so much healing, so much understanding, and really important steps that I had to take. And so those are and I want to say also that ended up saving me a lot of time because I had that pause when I went back to my laptop to work. I had clarity of like, oh, I thought I needed to do this, but I actually have to send this email right now. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have done that today had I just been like, all right, listen to the podcast, keep doing, cross things off the list. And so the pause ended up saving me a lot of time and being more efficient. But this is what mastery is, right? This is what it means to not just be on automatic and let the external world dictate what you do, but to be committed to those 3 steps, right? Pausing or integrating that pause already within, receiving, and we're going to be doing that today in our meditation, and then taking action. But really, really understanding that the action 90% of the time will be these tiny little steps. And as you do those tiny little steps, the bigger steps will be revealed. And so thank you, Jill, for that. Yes. And I find with these teachings, the more I teach them, the more clear I am, right? The more I'm like, oh, yes. Like I understood that I was like, sometimes I'm in this getting energy from my soul. Like I want to get stuff from my soul. And getting energy is always the ego. Always, 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 always. Even if we're thinking we want to get something valuable, think about God, the divine spirit. Think about an ascended master you're really connected to, Mother Mary or Kuan Yin or Green Tara or Buddha. They're never in getting energy. They're always in giving, radiating, receiving. So whenever we're in getting, we can know like, oh, that's my ego, or that's a part of me that's has a burden. We don't have to judge it. We all do that. But that can be a really good I don't want to call it a red flag. In this is my online teachings, I call it a purple flag, kind of like, oh, that's right. I'm noticing I'm in that getting energy. Let me come back to receiving or come back to radiating. Let me soften that. What is that part of me that wants to get? And it usually comes from fear or protection or worry. And that's normal. Again, it's nothing to judge. But when we come back out of that getting energy, that's very powerful. So let's practice receiving together, because I just, this is what I find that's so interesting. And you've heard me talk about how the spiritual journey is full of paradoxes. And one of the paradoxes is that the more you're asked to do, to give, to lead, the more you need to receive. our intellect thinks, well, I have such a huge to-do list. I don't have time to receive. I just need to do. But that's the programming of the world. If you missed the beginning of this transmission, go back and hear that, right? It's the programming of the world. In truth, the more we're being asked to give, the more we're being asked to lead, the more we're being asked to transform and change in our lives, the more we have to receive from our soul. It's just, there's no other way. And so let's do the receiving practice right now. And this is just one way. It's not the only way. But just, really tune into the energy of receiving. And so I invite you to take some nice cleansing breaths. And as you do that, I invite you to connect with the earth underneath you. And visualize these beautiful roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, deep into the earth. And we do that because we want to stay connected to the earth as we receive from our soul, so that everything you receive from your soul gets channeled into the earth, gets anchored into your life, and creates transformation. Because receiving from your soul is not about escaping the earth, it's not about running away, right? It's an arrival. And so as you do that, now breathe in through the bottoms of your feet, this energy of earth, right? This energy of presence, so feeling very grounded and present. And if it's helpful, close your eyes or focus your gaze on something in front of you. And as you do that, I just call on a beautiful circle of grace to surround each of us and to surround our collective group, those of you who are here live and those of you who are listening to the replay. And I invite you now, I invite actually your beautiful soul to start to spiral open your chakra channels, those 7 main energy centers. And I invite you to really be in beginner's mind. If you're a chakra expert, that's totally fine, but be in beginner's mind. If you're like, what are chakras? That's totally fine. Be in beginner's mind. Your soul knows. So your soul's opening this energetic pathway in your body from the crown of your head, actually from your soul star hovering over the crown of your head, through your crown, through your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, your root, all the way down to your feet, all the way down to your earth star chakra. So that's like below your feet into the earth. And so your soul is just clearing that path. It's like opening a path. So it's okay. You don't need to know anything about this. You don't need to control it. You're just allowing it. And now hovering over the crown of your head, feel your crown chakra like a lotus flower, the petals open, rising up, opening like a beautiful flower that's opening towards the sun. And your soul is an energetic force. So your soul right now in this moment is showing up like this beautiful, beautiful bubble of light, of golden light, hovering over the crown of your head. Golden light filled with light codes, with blessings, with unconditional love, because your soul is unconditionally loving. And your soul never gets depleted because your soul is always receiving from the divine. And so in this moment, all we're going to do is receive. So if it's helpful, you can bring your hands to your heart and just say in your own words something really simple like, I'm willing to receive from my soul. I'm willing to receive. I'm ready to receive. I'm here to receive. And as you say that, or your own words, if there's parts of you that are scared or feel like, well, I don't know how to receive, or I don't know how to do this, it's okay. Send them love. There's really nothing to know. Just allow it. And as you relax your hands or keep them in your heart, whatever feels right, now your soul is sending this shower of light through your chakra channel. Just receive that love. Remember, your soul knows exactly what you need, knows exactly where to linger, knows exactly what you're healing, knows exactly where there's stuck energy. You don't need to control it, just allow it to happen. And of course, if a prayer comes from your heart, if there's something specific, some area that you want to receive more light, you can ask, but know that your soul already knows. So let's be in silence for a few moments as we receive from our soul. And as you receive, let it go through your whole body, down into the earth, deep into the earth. So your soul is blessing the earth as well. And just allow that to happen. Perhaps you do that once and then it happens again, or maybe it just keeps happening. Let's do that together. And I'm hearing that our soul also wants to bathe our aura. So as the light goes down your chakra channel, now it's cascading over you and it's infusing your auric field, that cocoon of light that surrounds you, all the layers of it, and your soul's bathing your aura, clearing it, sealing it. Just again, you don't have to control it. In fact, we don't want to control it. We can't control it. We're just getting out of the way. We're allowing our soul to give us this beautiful shower of light. And feel the earth underneath you. See how you can stay grounded as this happens. If you have any physical ailments, know that your soul's light is infusing those parts of your body, infusing your emotions, your thoughts. And now, as we start to wind down, your soul is very wise and it's starting to just finalize an integration of this light. It's starting to kind of adjust your chakras, right? Recalibrating them to your everyday activity. And your guardian angels and your ascended master guides are standing surrounding you. They're going to help you continue to integrate this. And now you're just asking your soul for an action step. Ask your soul, what is an action step that you want me to take today? Remember, it'll most likely be a really simple one. So let's ask, what is an action step you'd like me to take today? And now bringing the palms of your hands together, filled with gratitude. Thank your soul and feel how grateful your soul is that you took this time. And she's reminding you that this is simple, that you can do this all the time. It is your birthright. And we bow to each other and close this with a namaste. Namaste. If you want to drink some water. And if you want to share in the chat anything about this experience, please feel free to do so, or in the comments if you're watching the replay. If you want to share what action step, my soul for me was like really acknowledging the action steps I took today, just saying like the action step of not turning on the podcast, right? Of listening, of allowing myself to cry, of setting up my Kalima altar, which had no idea I was going to do, but that guidance came. So it was just kind of like, and then I got a action step of just taking a moment to radiate this light to my children. It was really guided to do that. Oh, Jill, I love that. My guidance was mindset work before a client. Yes, that's so important. So mindset work, for those of you who might be like, what is that? It's just like really getting clear on your thoughts. Like, what are the thoughts that you're thinking? How is that making you feel? Do you like that thought, or do you want to like choose a different thought? It's really courageous work and life-changing work. And it's one of the things I help my clients with. If anyone else wants to share, feel free to do that. That felt really beautiful to me. I just felt, just so much love from our soul, right? And just, I always feel like, because when we gather together, it's almost like the oversoul, right? And it feels like the channel is open even broader. And I always feel like our soul is so great. It's so like happy, like, yes, they're pausing, they're receiving. It's like your soul has all these gifts for you. And sometimes we're like, no, we're too busy. No, wait. And it's like, but I'm here. So thank you, Mary. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards. And I want to remind you, next Wednesday in our Priestess transmission is a new moon solar eclipse. What? Very powerful. Happens to be on the same day as the Priestess transmission. So next Wednesday is going to be a special solar eclipse, new moon. And there's all these other things special about the day transmission. So I would love for you to join me. If you can't join live, of course, the replay is available. And also, if you're not signed up for my newsletter, what? Please go. You should. I'm not saying you should follow your soul's guidance, but there are so many exciting things coming. And as my life transforms in big magical ways, my clients' lives transform, and clients and students, and people who are drawn to my work are mirroring that as well. And really through my mailing list is the best way to stay abreast of all of it, because that it just is. And there's a lot coming up. So I'll put the link in the description. Let's see. Jill, that felt so healing. Could feel the power of the group. Yes, me too, Jill. Suzanne says, actions up. Keep it simple. Go outside. Yes. All right. So let's pull a unicorn card and a star temple card, and then we will be done. Okay. This is for everyone here live and everyone watching the replay. What is a message from our soul? Unicorns are so aligned with our soul, right? So unicorn portal, focus your light, listen for a message. I mean, really, that's just what we did. Focus your light, listen for a message. Look at this. So beautiful. And so that's from the Magic of the Unicorns deck by Diana Cooper. And now I'm just going to pull one last one from the Star Temple Oracle. Oh, thank you, Rosso Asis. I hope I'm saying your name right, but it says, I also received confirmation of actions just taken evening in France. Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. And I'm going to be going to France. I know, I've never been to France. It's been a place that I've wanted to go to. And Literally, this just unfolded in the last 3 days. So I'm like so excited. So I'm going to be going on a pilgrimage. All right. So let's pull from the Star Temple. Okay. And then we will be done. Oh my gosh. I love this card. Okay. Are you ready? The Medicine Woman, which to me is another name for priestess. It says, heal. I nurture and nourish my mind, body, and soul. Look at this gorgeous medicine woman. What is a medicine woman? A medicine woman is someone who has activated their own soul's medicine. And how do you do that? By pausing, receiving from your soul, and taking action. That's what enriches your medicine. And then you share that medicine with the world. And then you help others share their medicine with the world. Look at this gorgeous priestess medicine woman. So she's come here for you. All right, Mary saying, I'm usually confused about my soul. This one to give me a real connection. Oh, beautiful. I love that. All right, thank you, everyone. And those of you who are watching the replay, I love to read your comments as well. I know I don't get to respond to all of them, but please know that I read them. And I will see you next week for the solstice. No, not solstice. Maybe I said solstice before. I meant equinox. Equinox, new moon. Hope I'm saying that right. I will send the details on my newsletter. All right, bye everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.